Here, this is a localized area, and weak tornado, gustnado, there's a gray area there, but there's a localized area of dust right here. Bob Moore Chopper 4's got it live, and look at it. It's a localized area of spinning dust. So it's not a serious tornado as far as a damaging tornado. That's not what this is. But the winds could be 80 miles an hour or so. And look at the curvature. Look how the updraft here is perfectly circular and round. That is definite strong rotation down to the cloud base. Underneath that, there's a column of concentrated dust that is spinning. So that is either a weak tornado or it is a gustnado. It might be a weak tornado. Power flashes. Look at that. Damaging winds, 80-mile-an-hour winds plus. That is a tornado, folks. Bam. That's a tornado right there. John, tell us where that is. I'll look at the live wind stream. Where do you have that? Tornado on the ground in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, Mike, right now it's actually on 134th Street. No, it's not. It's on 119th Street as it kind of comes in. It's going to be, I think it's 12th Street here and more. In the bottom of your shots, you can see the 12th Street Bridge with the KFC and the other restaurants that are right there on it. If you keep going down that road, you're going to run into Oklahoma City after you cross Santa Fe, and that's the area that it is. And right there, it's continuing to track almost pretty much straight east. Right now, we're over, I guess I'm over, actually, 119th.
Moore,
sorry,
folks.
I'm over Bryant.
This is a tornado on the ground in Moore is where this is. This is now moving into downtown Moore. It is a confirmed tornado on the ground in Moore. That's where that is right now. Power flashes, multiple power flashes. It is on the ground near West Moore High School. Right now, it is a confirmed tornado on the ground. There is no tornado warning from the Weather Service, but I promise you that is a tornado on the ground right now. It is a supercell with a hook. This is the mesocyclone. That is a tornado very close to West Moore heading into downtown Moore. Could be F1, F0, F1, something like that. But that is a tornado coming into downtown Moore. Right now, it is in Moore, not Oklahoma City. It's in Moore. F1 tornado could be easily. It's at least an F0 tornado. You saw the power flashes. Back to Bob Moore Chopper 4 Live. More power flashes downtown Moore.
It's on 12th Street. It's on 12th Street in Santa Fe, Mike. You can see the church right there in the very bottom of your screen. It's continuing to go kind of towards the northeast here, but 12th Street and Santa Fe, we've got a little bit of debris going, as you can see right there. Continuing to track towards the northeast here. It's going to be coming up. Your next area right there is going to be coming up on Shields. The Shields kind of goes off there. You have the North Baptist Church there on 27th Street, the First Baptist Church in Moore. It's kind of going in pretty much that direction. Looks like it's going to pass just north of the First Baptist Church there on 24th Street. You got the Shell station there. It's going to be south of the Toby Keith water tower in Moore if it continues on its present track here. But you can see a lot of power flashes there, a little bit debris in the air, a weak tornado, but we're seeing definitely a rotating cloud above it. And as you can see right there, still definitely debris that's moving, and that's going to be, I'm trying to get a bearing here on what buildings those are on this little monitor. I can't exactly tell. But again, it's continuing to track to the northeast, and that's going to be about 4th and Santa Fe, Mike.
Okay, John, let's go to the storm tracker. We're going to just briefly, if you want to double box this, feel free. Look at the hook. Look at the debris ball. Tornado. There's no tornado warning on this right now. This will go red for a tornado warning because there needs to be one out. This is at least an F1 tornado between 4th and 12th right there. Look at the debris ball. Hook echo. That is a tornado. No doubt about it. And it's coming right into downtown Moore, crossing I-35 here in a minute or two. That is a hook with a confirmed tornado in Moore right now. Tornado safety precautions away from windows, interior part of your house. Right now in downtown Moore. It is a weak tornado, but it is a significant tornado. Could be an F1. Debris in the air, power flashes. That is a tornado on the ground downtown Moore. Bob Moore Chopper 4, John Welsh, go.
4th Street here. Yeah, Mike, what we're showing you right now, it almost looks like there might be 2 tornadoes here. Travis, if you'll zoom out and go to your left, there's another one. There's actually a couple. There might even be 3 of these little tornadoes right in here. One's crossing I-35 at 4th Street. You have the other one that Travis is on right there with the power flashes. That's going to be just about Santa Fe and 4th Street here. the north side of town, North 4th Street. So there's 2 or 3 maybe little tornadoes right here, and they're all continuing to track towards the east. This one is going to track, it looks like, from my vantage point, just north of the lock, and the other, I think there's a lock, there's a foil parts wholesaler dealership right there. They're going to track right along there at I-35. Travis, go to your left. There it is again, Mike. This is the second tornado that's actually came off of there, and it's continuing to track almost due east at this time down the north sides of 4th Street. Coming to the right.
Tornado now is crossing I-35 at 4th Street. Looks like it's occasionally an F0, occasionally an F1. Power flashes, there's more power flashes. You're looking at it live right here from Bob Moore Chopper 4. There's still no tornado warning in effect for Cleveland County from the Weather Service. There needs to be a tornado warning in effect. This is a tornado, and it continues to be an F0 sometimes, F1 sometimes. Look at all the power flashes. Those are winds 100, 110 miles an hour. Look at all that. That is I-35 at 4th Street in Moore. It is going right through downtown Moore right now from Bob Moore Chopper 4 live. Incredible. Go, John.
Yeah. Hey, Mike, I'm going to tell you, it's continuing to track there. It's actually moving a little bit south. It's about on Main Street now. It looks like from our vantage point, it's going to go Main Street, I-35. That's about, I think it's Flood, I believe. It's not Flood. It's, anyway, it's one street that's going to be west of I-35. There's where it's at now. It looks like it's going to continue to track just south of the Moore High School. So it looks like it's going to be right there in Main. And, Main Street and Eastern is where Moore High School is. It's going to track kind of in front of or north of the junior high school right there. And it's going to continue to track towards the east. At this time, it looks like that's now the kind of taking the energy from the other 2 tornadoes and kind of manifested to that one. But right now it's actually, hang on, Mike, it's actually it's going south now. It's going kind of south and east, and it's going towards the south side of town now, and it looks like it's going to cross right there on the south side of town, maybe 4th Street area. So it's going to be south of the Moore High School as it kind of continues basically kind of on the May 20th track as it continues out here. There's a lot of outflow boundary.
Hey, John Welsh, you should see the Warren Theater, and the Warren Theater is in the debris ball that I've got right now on radar. Do you see the Warren Theater? It looks like it's right at the Warren Theater, like right on it.
Yeah, Mike, in my shot right there, as you can see, there's the Warren Theater right there in the bottom of the shot. The debris ball looks like it's just going to be just kind of to the south side of that, really over more of Lowe's area. It's kind of tracking towards the south side, 19th Street, and Eastern at this time, and it appears that now it's headed kind of southeast as it actually picks its size up just a little bit, Mike.
Okay, still looks like about an F1. Tornado warning is now coming out from the National Weather Service for Cleveland County. Looks like about an F1. It's still on the ground here. It's right over the Moore Theater. Most of it now is crossing on the east side of I-35. There's a mesocyclone above it, and below that is a tornado on the ground. Might be down to an F0 now, but an F1, a lot of power flashes. We had debris in the air. There is damage from this tornado, and right now it's at the Warren Theater, exactly where May 20th crossed I-35. That's where it is right now. It is not an F5. It is an F1 tornado the way it looks right now. 10th and May, 119th in May, damage at 119th in May. Look at the funnel cloud dropping down right now. So it's still on the ground. F1 tornado, winds 110, 115. Might have even gotten to a brief F2 there for a while. Still on the ground. There's the funnel.
Okay.
You do not have to have contact between the ground and the cloud, visible contact for a tornado. You can still have the spinning vortex, which clearly is in contact with the ground below the funnel cloud right now. Crossing I-35 at the Warren Theater. Go, John Welsh.
Yeah, Mike. Right now, as you can see, the power flashes there as it crosses I-35. It actually looks like there might be dropping another tornado out ahead of it. We definitely have another funnel cloud. It looks like it's going to head right towards about Sunny Lane and 149th, Sooner Road, 149th, that area, and it's going to continue to track to the southeast. So if you're in this area, you're definitely going to want to be taking your tornado precautions. I'm looking farther south down here and towards about Indian Hills, just south of the Belmar Golf Course, and we're getting a lot of outflow blowing here. But it looks like the storm is actually still has one tornado, maybe going to drop another one on the southeast side of it at this time. It's continuing to track pretty close to the same way that the May 20th one did, except now it's kind of transitioning towards the southeast. About this time it was a couple years ago, it was going towards the northeast. I'm sorry, now it's actually transitioned to the southeast. So as you can see from our shot, you definitely have the funnel cloud right there on the top, which is taking a lot of the energy. And if Travis will zoom in there, we're still getting a lot of power flashes, and we're getting a lot of debris in there. One thing that we're noticing at this time is behind it, it's actually thickening up a lot, and we're losing the light and the contrast. But the storm's going to continue to push towards the southeast. And right now, it's going to go over probably in between the Turtle Lake Housing Addition. It looks like it's going to cross Turtle Lake. It looks like it's going to go just south of the Pepperwheel Oaks and probably right over the Twin Lakes Housing Addition as it continues to track towards the northeast here. And it might actually either go there or it's going to be just north of the Belmar Golf Course as it crosses Sooner Road at this time here, Mike.
Okay, still on the ground, just to the southeast of I-35. It is moving southeast. Let's take the South Doppler here briefly. We're going to cut away briefly, still on the ground. So here's South Oklahoma City. There is some rotation also in the Dell City area here, east of Crossroads Mall. But it is not as strong, but there's some rotation here as well. Here's clearly the hook right here. You see the sink drain effect there. There's I-35. This is going to be Sooner and Sunny Lane here is where it is now. About South 19th and Sooner and Sunny Lane is where the tornado is right now, tracking southeastward. So it's going to be moving out of Moore into a little more rural area of Cleveland County, and there is now a tornado warning in effect for Cleveland County. East and south of that, take your tornado precautions right now. Back to Bob Moore, Chopper 4. Also, Mark Dillard has been driving through some debris in Moore from this tornado. Go, John.
Okay. Yeah, Mike, right now it looks like from our vantage point, it's crossing probably either Bryant or Sunny Lane here. It's going to be south of 149th Street, north of Indian Hills Road. It's kind of in that unincorporated part of town as it continues to track towards the east. There's the Belmar Golf Course, and then there's it looks like there's a housing addition on Sooner Road just north of Belmar. It appears at this time that's really where it's going to cross, just looking at our vantage point here. From the bottom of your screen, you're seeing those housing additions there. 149th Street and Sooner Road is just outside or to the bottom right of the screen. It's continuing to track kind of towards the south and east like it's been the majority of the day. Luckily, it hasn't really intensified any. We haven't seen as many lightning flashes or power flashes out here. One thing is it's a more rural area. There's not as many above ground lines, which could be an indicating factor of that. But still on the ground, we're still seeing a lot of debris kind of kicked up here, and the funnel cloud is still there. We're getting a lot of lightning just north of it, a lot of heavy rain, which is kind of hampering our ability to continue to show the exact funnel cloud of it as it continues to go here. I'm just over the south side of the dam of Lake Draper, shooting back towards directly to the east, and I believe 149th Street is what is south of the dam, so that's kind of our marker that we're shooting straight back, towards the west here. And as you can see from Travis's shot there, we still have some debris, still some power flashes there on the bottom of the screen. It's continuing to transition out here to kind of this rural area. It's going to come towards the north part of Lake Thunderbird here, south of Draper. Looks like kind of if we split the middle between the two, that's where it's going to head. If I were to draw a point from right where it is, it's probably crossing Indian Hills and Sooner Road, and I would probably put a track on it from there to about Franklin and South 48th, just from our vantage point, just kind of watching the way it's going to go. So it's continuing to move to the southeast, still kind of a light tornado, but still definitely a tornado, Mike.
Sooner Road and Indian Hill Road is where the tornado is right now. Sooner Road and Indian Hill Road. Let's keep your shot up, John. Let's talk to Mark Dillard. Mark Dillard has driven through tornado damage up in Moore. He's still tracking along with Reed Timmer. Mark, tell us the damage you've seen while we keep looking at the live picture with the continued F1 tornado, give or take, on the ground now at Indian Hill and Sooner Road, heading for Little Axe. Go, Mark Dillard.
Yes, Mike, it's enough to ruin your day for sure. Now coming into shut down traffic on I-35. All three lanes are shut down here. I just got on at what would be 12th Street and Moore here. But we've got the interstate is basically shut down. I don't know if we've got power lines across the road or we've had an accident here, but let me describe the damage for you real quick, folks. We've got power lines all along Southwest 119th in Oklahoma City. Power lines, a lot of shed roof damage, a lot of basic shingle damage, tree limbs, had stuff balled up. So that tells me that there was a lot of twisting and rotation with the wind at the low level. We've got power lines down all over the southwest side of town now. This thing has hopped and skipped all the way across now I-35 and is heading off to the south and east. I believe we've had an accident here, Mike. Can't tell how many cars, but during this event, had so much driving rain and hail. At times, the hydroplaning situation has been very, very dangerous. I've seen several cars that have slid off the road, and I believe we've got one that is up and over the Jersey barrier here at South 4th Street and I-35 and more. It's just a real mess down here on the south side. Back to you.
Okay, Mark, so you're going to be getting near the Warren Theater here coming up, so we do want to stay with you on your live stream from near the Warren Theater. You're coming up in the Warren Theater right now. Let's go to Max. Let's go to the Storm Tracker control room. And let's take a look at the storm tracker. And the hook's still very well evident. It's still on the ground, heading for Little Axe or the far eastern edges of Norman, talking about East 36th, East 48th, East 60th Street, and over toward Luther to the south of Draper Lake. Still on the ground, clearly a hook right here. Big supercell. You see how it went right through Moore, past the Warren Theater at I-35. A lot of F1 damage, it looks like. Might have gone briefly to an F2, somewhere in that neighborhood. It's still on the ground right now. Tornado warning for Cleveland County. Now, let's go ahead and go to Max 2 and take a look. And you'll see the hook here, different presentation, really well defined here. And again, there is downtown Moore up here. So now we're zoomed in. This is northeast Norman. The hook echo now is located just south of Draper Lake, over at Indian Hill Road, down to Franklin Road, over at about East 48th Street in far northeast Norman, heading for Denver and Little Axe. The tornado warning continuing for eastern Cleveland County. Back to Bob Moore, Chopper 4 Live. John?
Just about 2 miles south of me, just straight south of that town.
John is talking to the air traffic there at Will Rogers and Max Westheimer. He's in a live update here with still a weak tornado on the ground here, John. Also take the stream there from Dillard, I do believe, too, guys. Go, John.
Yeah, there is, Mike. I'm right now over Franklin and 108th Street here, shooting back directly towards directly towards the west here. And we've kind of really lost the tornado. It's either wrapped up in rain or we don't have enough light to get on the backside of it. I'm just on the, if you're familiar with Lake Thunderbird, it kind of protrudes out to the west. I'm just directly north of the far western points of Lake Thunderbird here, shooting towards the tornado here. And it's got to be right in here. I haven't seen any power flashes in just a minute, but again, we're crossing Franklin and 108th, shooting back towards the west here. And that's where that tornado I heard you talking about still had the hook echo on it, still continuing to move towards the east and southeast here. If I was to pick a spot, Travis, if you go just to your left, I believe it's going to be somewhere a little bit more to your left of that green field. We're getting some right in there. I believe that is probably where the low-level rotation that's actually touching the ground is. We've seen definitely some kick-ups right there. If that's not the tornado, that might be another one that actually kind of spawned out in front of it, like happened when it was crossing I-35 there and more. But we're not able to see any power flashes, which is kind of not a surprise because there's really not.
Yeah, it looks like the tornado might have just lifted. It looks like the tornado might have just lifted. Let's go to the storm tracker. Want to back out here just a little bit on the storm tracker. Listen, we can't take it full. We're going to go to Mark Dillard here coming up in that damage. Let's go to the storm tracker, though. Kind of an overview here. Supercell, looks like the tornado might have just lifted. Looks like it's in the process of lifting if it hadn't just lifted, but it could come back down. Northwest of Little Axe, about 60th Street and Franklin. Over there in far east Norman is where it is right now. It's moving due southeast right for Little Axe. Central Cleveland County, eastern Cleveland County, big hail, Moore, South Oklahoma City. There's also a weaker circulation moving out of Del City right now. Doesn't appear to be a huge problem there. And then severe storms here. Main threat with these is going to be tennis ball and golf ball size hail. Talking about Blanchard, Newcastle, Tuttle right now. The Chickasha Airport, Chickasha down to Surreal, Cement, near and south of Anadarko, Ninnekah, Grady County, eastern sections of Caddo County. And the North Metro here, mainly just moderate rain. If you're north of the village, not a problem. In the village, not a problem. problem. All this is in the South Metro. Now, let's go ahead and go back into the South Doppler here. We'll go to the South Doppler. We'll zoom on into the Cleveland storm. You see it right there. Cleveland County tornado warning. Let's go back to Bob Moore Chopper 4's picture and Mark Dillard on the Gentner. Mark, tell us about that damage down in Moore.
Of the Warren, where you were pinpointing that circulation earlier, is where it crossed, and it tossed a semi-truck. I've got a pickup that was flipped over. Not sure if he just got hung up on the wall and flipped, or he was flipped by the wind. But we've got a full-blown mess down here. We've got I-35 basically is shut down at 4th Street, just north of the Warren. I also noticed that there's some intermittent power that is out in Moore. The Warren sign was not on, but they did have power inside. So it's just an intermittent power situation. We also had a lot of fence damage there in front of the theater. So just to the north of the Warren Theater is where we had a crossing, I believe, with a semi that is rolled and blocked.
All the buildings are left standing. We are at a gas station. There's another gas station across the way, but I can tell you I'm facing a traffic light that's been turned around a complete wrong way. Light poles are down all across the area. There is heavy rubble in the road. And what's even more dangerous is that at this point there are power lines. There are literally power lines across the parking lot and in the roadway itself. At this moment where we are, there is still heavy rain and bits of lightning, so we are working on getting a live shot out to y'all as soon as we can once it's safe. So, Mike, we will check in with you once we get a chance.
Okay, appreciate that, Adam. Let's go to the South Doppler. And this is the damage. We've got a lot of crews, as you might imagine, down in Moore. So we'll be showing you a lot more damaged pictures as the evening moves on from what appears to be high-end F1, low-end F2 that went through Moore. But what I want to highlight here, these are still severe. Now, the tornado threat with them has come down, yes, but damaging straight-line winds and large hail. And one severe storm now is in South Moore, going right through the middle of Norman down to Noble. That's what came out of the Newcastle area, Blanchard area, a short while ago, came through the Riverwind Casino, down Highway 9. It's now in Norman. So these are severe storms with damaging straight-line winds. You want to make sure you stay away from windows and hail sizes. Lots of golf balls. Could be some small tennis balls, golf ball to small tennis balls, along with this one here at Blanchard, crossing I-44, Middleburg, Tabler, east of Tabler, over to Dibble, Cole, Kreiner, and Washington in McLean County. This storm here is severe, and it's just to the southwest of Newcastle. But this storm here has damaging winds, I would think 65, 75 miles per hour look likely with this one. And then as we go over to the storm tracker, the storm coming into Shawnee. This one has some real high velocity wind with it. It's coming through Shawnee, OBU here coming up real soon, just in the next few minutes. Shawnee, 735, 740. So we're talking about 7 minutes from right now, or a little bit less. You want to make sure in Shawnee, OBU, down at Tecumseh, you want to stay away from those west windows for sure, because this has a west wind blowing to the east that could blow out windows in the 80 to 90 mile per hour range. So no tornado, but the wind could be similar to a